We'll get a and there we are. Holy moly, y'all. It is Friday again, and I'm showing up with Friday friends. I have to tell you all that I have really been enjoying this Friday Friends. I've have so many folks that are booking up, like literally, if you want to join us on Friday Friends, send me a message, put a comment under the video here. I'll make sure you get your invitation because we are booking up pretty quickly here. I think when I looked this morning, we're booked through July. So we're booking into August now. So I'm excited about that. So before we get started here, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicole Broadhurst. I'm a former healthcare administrator turned independent patient advocate. And on Fridays, I hang out with some of my besties and we get together and we talk about all of the wonderful things that are happening in the world of independent patient advocacy. We also talk to my friends that do other things. So if you're not an independent patient advocate and you believe that you have something valuable to share with the world, get with me. Let's get you on Friday Friends. Okay. So, having said that, I was just talking to Dr. Nancy Taylor and we were trying to remember. I thought we met last year and I've been corrected. We met 2 years ago in 2021. And I've just been having such a good time with her that it doesn't even feel like it's been that long that we've met. So I am not going to take any thunder away from my friend. I'm going to let her tell you who she is and what she does. Dr. Taylor, thank you so much for joining us today. And I can't wait to hear about you and your practice. What is it that you do over there?
Well, thanks for having me here today, Nicole. Before I get into what I do for my practice, you talked about, besties and things like that. And I got the giggles the other day as I was thinking I was going to be on Friday Friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, we are like AFF. We are Advocate Friday Friends. I was like, everybody's got this. Here's your BFF. Here's your bestie here, and you see all these things. And I was like, maybe we should start the AFF. You're my AFF,
Love that
Nicole.
idea. I love that idea.
I just thought
Let's do that.
I thought it was just cute. I was like, well, all right. So now we have another, an acronym that we can use. But
Love it.
Leading into who I am and what I do, I will tell you that my business, I am in the hope business, Nicole. And the people that I serve, I have multiple people that I serve. I have people that come up to me and they have said to me, can you help me, please? And these people hope that I can help them in a current healthcare crisis, bring it to a resolution. But as I get around with other people, I have people that say to me, oh, I could have used you when, and then they tell me a situation that, breaks your heart. And these people had hoped for assistance in a healthcare crisis, but it never came to them. And my favorite people are the people that when I talk to them and they ask what I do and everything, they say, I don't need you right now. These people hope to never have a healthcare crisis. So I am in the hope business. Now, as you know my background. I am a pharmacist. I am also an independent advocate. I design and implement personalized healthcare action plans for busy professionals who want to achieve their best quality of life. Now, the plans that I do, healthcare action plans, they are as unique as my clients. So it depends on what their hopes are, what that situation is. But even though there's that whole uniqueness, they're all the same. All my clients are the same because they all have that idea of best quality of life. So they're all hopers. They all hope for that best quality of life, no matter what it looks like to whoever that individual it is. I mean, I hope for the best quality of life. Do you?
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Right?
And how do we
for
achieve that?
sure.
Well, I help people find and hold on to hope through confidence and control.
Holy smokes. Like, that's amazing, Nancy. Say that last sentence one more time. I just want to hear it one more time.
Okay. I help people find and hold on to that hope with confidence and control.
That's amazing. So how do you do that? Like, what does that look like?
Well, okay, let me show you. Let's talk about those three types of hope that I just
Mhm.
explained to you that people say to me. And so for that first type of hopers, that first type of can you please help me? I say, yes, I can. So I work with these people and I create a healthcare action plan that takes them from their current crisis to relief using my knowledge, experience, and my compassionate care.
Love that.
Let me give you an example. So Steve and Michelle had just spent the last 6 weeks going through hospitalization and rehabilitation for Michelle coming back from a life-threatening surgery. So I created an action plan for Michelle to take her from rehab discharge back into independent living. And this provided them with a level of confidence and control during and after a healthcare crisis.
Wow.
But
Wow.
we also have those I could have used you when hopers,
Right.
right? We have those
Right.
hopers.
Yeah.
And when they say that to me, I say, let's work together towards a different outcome this time. So I
Mm.
work with these people, create that healthcare action plan that differentiates from the previous similar experiences using their values and preferences. You know, what do they want in treatment? What don't they want? Maybe they're going down a path that is similar to something that a relative had, or, you
Mm.
know, we look at familial diseases. And Lisa is a prime example of that. So Lisa was just diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, and she has spent decades watching how uncontrolled diabetes has affected her father, and she does not want
Mm.
to go down that same road. So for Lisa, I created an action plan that helped her to avoid those pitfalls that her father experienced and put her
Mhm.
on a path
Yeah.
to diagnosis reversal. So that gave Lisa a level of confidence and control
Control.
that a similar experience may turn out different for her.
You know, I love that. I love that, Nancy. I'm like, so when you just gave that example, that made me think about how much control patients have, but they may not even know they have it.
Mhm. And
And it sounds like, yeah,
we all want it. And
right.
you know, the most people that we think are really controlled, okay, for the people that say to me, I don't need you right now, those hopers, I literally say to them, that's the point.
Mm,
So I work with these people to create healthcare action plans that help them prepare or avoid a crisis situation using
right.
advanced decision making, or we're looking at an if then plan. And
Yeah.
okay, so I had clients, Anna and Bill. They're solo agers, no children, no family around them, and they are in relatively good health.
Wow.
However, they were afraid of what would happen if they both became incapacitated at the same time. Who would
Right.
speak for them? What would happen? You know, they had
Yeah.
nothing to fall back on. So I created an action plan for them. We're talking through different options of medical power of attorney and creating that emergency home team of what that's going to look like for them, of
Nice.
who is going to take care of this if then this happens. So for Anna and Bill, I created this level of confidence and control for if, God forbid, a healthcare crisis does happen.
Right.
So,
That's amazing because I know there's
yeah,
lots of people out there like that.
right. They're like, I don't need your services. I don't need you right now. I'm like, I understand that. Truly, I do. So get a plan in action because something is going to happen. Whether a parent is going to end up moving in with you, or you don't have documents set up, or maybe what you have no idea what to do if there is an unexpected hospital visit.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you just think nothing like this will ever happen to me. Well, then you need to have a healthcare action plan that's set up so that if it does, you are still in control because you designed this and then this is implemented.
Right.
Mhm.
I
But
love this one. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
I
interrupt.
was just gonna, I was just gonna tell you that in my 20 plus years in pharmacy, Nicole, I have seen so many different types of hopers. So many.
Yeah.
I have witnessed their eyes light up. I have seen their demeanor change, that confidence, that
Yes.
control that happens. I mean, I've even witnessed, I don't know how many times, that breath of relief.
Right?
And so, but the thing I've noticed in all of my years is I have seen all of those things happen, and it's all provided by pharmacists advocating for their patients through counseling with these personal healthcare action plans.
Nice.
And let me share this with you. I was first introduced to this concept when I was way young and I was watching my pharmacist father.
Mm, that's right.
So
Your dad was a
my
pharmacist. I
dad's a
remember that
pharmacist.
now.
Yeah, yes, he is. But when I was young and I started working in our family drugstore, child labor laws didn't apply to your own children. I was the janitor. I have to say that I started out low. Yes. Oh, but more times than not, I would kind of stop and watch my dad interact with his patients.
Mhm.
And I would see people come up to the pharmacy counter and they would be sad or anxious, or, and they would hand my dad that prescription over the counter. And, as he took it, so as he filled the prescription, he would just talk with them. He would maybe tell a joke. Sometimes he just listened. But when he was done filling that prescription, he would step down from the pharmacy bench and he would go talk with them privately. And I watched these interactions, and I watched my dad lay a hand on their shoulder, or I
Mm,
would hear, a giggle. And more times than not, they always ended with a handshake.
yeah.
And then those same people left our pharmacy walking taller,
Mhm.
smiling. Some might even laugh, giggle on their way out the door. And as I watched this time and time again, I finally went to my dad and I said, okay, what is this process that I'm seeing? I
Mhm.
see people come in one way and then I see them leave another way. And I will never forget this. My dad said to me, Nancy, your empathy, compassion, and sense of humor are as much medication as pills and creams. Remember, we are not just dispensing medicine, we are
Mhm.
dispensing hope. I
Ooh,
knew then that I was going to
nice.
be in the hope business. And
Holy
from
smokes.
that developed my urgency to be there to advocate for my patients.
I love
And
it.
it's
Yes.
and so I go through my years of being behind the bench and working with my patients, working with these plans. And I tell you, it got to be where I wasn't able to give all my time to my patient.
Mm,
And this happened,
yeah.
right at was happening before COVID, and the straw that broke the camel's back is when I was actually not working and I was shopping and I saw a patient of mine and they said, "Oh, I saw you the other day, but you looked so busy. I just didn't want to stop and say hi." Oh my gosh, Nicole, that was crushing. And
Bet.
I said, "You know, I am here for you. This relationship is what's important. So please
Yeah.
always stop by, say hi. And as this started to progress and I started learning more of this, I thought, I don't need to be behind the counter because
Mhm.
I can't do what I really need to do. So that is when I decided to step from behind the
Yep.
bench, just like my dad did. I stepped from behind the bench and left community pharmacy so that I could open my own business to give more time to my clients, to be able to be that one that
Mhm.
steps up and helps them create those action plans that they need, because
Oh.
I was not able to provide that hope from where I was, and
Mhm.
that is where I wanted to be. So my hope business is thriving.
Love
It
it.
is out there,
Yeah.
and I am so pleased to be able to give that time that everybody needs, and it's so rewarding.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Mhm.
We hear, hey, if you are listening today, if you're watching in, if you're catching the replay, keep coming back on Fridays because as we talk to more and more independent advocates, you're going to hear a very common theme. It's that transition from inside the system to outside the system. And this is what makes us light up, right? The thing of I get to do the thing that I've always wanted to do and I was limited and I couldn't do. Just like Nancy was just talking about. I love this. I think it's so refreshing to hear these stories about um, you know, sharing that crushing moment when somebody says something to you and you and about not, well, I didn't want to bother you. You were too busy. I didn't want to bother you. Um, that really is soul crushing, right?
It is.
When and so I love that you're doing something with that and carrying that and now able to carry on the hope. I, I would be interested to hear how your conversations go with your dad now, right? About how you're continuing to carry on the dispensing of hope in this new way. I bet that's really interesting and gives you some good conversations as well. Um, so we are kind of running down, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information. Quite frankly, I had no idea that there was such action planning available for the dispensing of hope. I love it. And I love the way that you've taken that and are tailoring that to all of the different types of folks who are looking for hope and striving to hang on to hope around their health and their health care. I think it's amazing the work that you're doing. And thank you for sharing all of those stories with us. Listen, is there a way for people if they know if they're well, I want to say I I know that there are at least a few of your hopers, one of those three types of hopers that are listening today, and I know they're going to want to connect with you. So, how would they do that? How do they follow up on this and connect with you so that they get your help or just kind of bounce ideas off of you or figure out how they can hold on to their own hope?
The best way to get in touch with me is connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Dr. Nancy Taylor. It easily comes up. You'll be able to see aspects of hope in that. You'll also be able to see ways that I try to bring this to the public through all of my public speaking engagements. You'll be able to see that too.
Love
Please connect with me on LinkedIn, because I tell you, everybody falls into one of these three types of hopers. We
it.
all do. And everybody needs to have a plan in place, no matter what kind of hoper you are, because you all want to achieve that best quality of life. So
Right?
please connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also go to
Yes.
my website, check it out. It is drtadvocacy.com. That is drtadvocacy.com. And I would be happy to visit, help you create an action plan for each hoper out there.
And I love it. I was listening, I was thinking, I was like, and I think it depends because I'm pretty sure I've been all three at different times. So super important. Love it. Thank you so much. And just as we close out today, just a reminder, if you are an independent patient advocate or you're interested in what that might look like maybe you hear a story and you're thinking, is that for me? Feel free to drop a comment below. I will be happy to connect with you and we can explore that possibility together. And for those of you that don't or aren't members of the circle, this is a free community where we as independent patient advocates come together every Wednesday and help rise the tide. So if you're not familiar with that, get with me, drop a comment, and I will absolutely connect with you there. In the meantime, I think we're going to call it a day and go enjoy the weekend, everyone. And we'll be back here next Friday with another Friday Friend. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Nicole.
Thanks, Nancy. Bye bye.
Bye.